No matter how high-tech, highfalutin, lazy, or foo-foo America gets, we will never stop hunting and fishing. This is the Hunting Quest. We take 1 hour of every week and talk about our favorite things in the world, hunting and fishing. You'll get tips and help on the fishing environment locally in the DMV area. Plus, we're going to have fun along the way. This is the Hunting Quest. And now your host, Mike Tippin.
All right.
Here we go.
We live?
We're live.
Well, not live, live-ish.
Yeah, kind of.
Cool.
Something like that.
And, first of all, that freaking intro is awesome. That guy kills it every time. I love it.
Jacked up, man.
So first of all, we're still in PA. I noticed a lot of people that kind of glassy-eyed from doing a week of what's going on with the Great American Outdoor Show. I can, I only did like a weekend, and I can't imagine this. But all that being aside, want to say thanks to everybody who's listening. And we got two really, really cool guests. Obviously, we've got Benny back as the producer for the Hunting Quest, and I appreciate that.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But we got two other folks. So, Doyle, introduce yourself, my friend.
I'm Doyle Weaver. I'm the owner, operator of Wild Valley Outfitters in Saskatchewan, Canada. And also do a fair bit of chicken farming as well.
I love it.
And,
now you got to be specific. Eggs or broilers?
Oh, man, KFC, baby.
Okay, there you go. All right. Very good. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate
Absolutely,
you.
man. Thanks for having me.
And then we got this guy.
Brother man, here we
there
go.
it goes.
Oh, God. I'm talking freaking Mondo. Here we go.
So for those of you who have listened to the podcast in the past, you know that that is the one and only Travis.
We're out here. You can be too. Here we go.
I love it.
Up and amongst the airwaves, my dudes and dudettes. We're coming at you. Here we go.
Now, this is the first time you've actually been on the podcast live, like video, right?
See, all the times, Mikey, where you're like, you got to come on out. You got to come on out.
Right.
I'm like, nah. And then I'm like, nah, you got to come on up. You got to come on up. Here you are. I love it, man.
Of course. And we got Jet.
Oh, yeah. Here we
Jet's
go.
awesome.
She's going to be ready to
Fighter
rock and roll here. Yep,
She
little
is
fighter
awesome.
jet.
So, with all that being said, how, again, I joke a little bit, but it's been a long week for y'all.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not going to dispute you on that.
Okay, cool. So what I'm guessing everything's going pretty well at the Great American Outdoor Show.
It is. It is. You joke about it being a long show, but I mean, it is the outdoor show. If you're an outfitter or guide or charter or whatever, the sheer amount of people here in the Northeast that come to this show is crazy.
Yeah.
And, a large base of our clients are from the Northeast.
Yeah.
Because of this show.
Absolutely.
And so we appreciate that. So, yeah, we talk and it's a long show. We're there every day, but it's invaluable to our business.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
We love being here. We truly do.
Yeah. It just makes for a long day.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, people don't realize you're there at 7 in the morning, leave at 7 at night.
Pretty much.
That's like a 12-hour day.
Well, not the traffic this year.
Oh, good Lord.
Good time.
Good Lord.
I can see the Pennsylvania Farm and Complex Center
Right.
for like 45 minutes.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
I might as
for
well
sure.
just park my truck on the ditch
Right.
and just
I can
walk
just
in
park
the
here.
same.
Yeah,
No
everything's
doubt.
good.
Again, I joke. It's great. It's great. It's just day 49.
And it's different for us, or like for us going in there, because you're going into the exhibitors area, so smaller parking. They do a really good job there, though, I think. But given the sheer amount of people and exhibitors there.
Exactly. The exhibitors also. I mean, how many booths there are, and, we also multiple trucks, and it's just like they do a good job.
Yeah.
Because this place is freaking massive.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's, if you're interested in anything outdoors,
God, yes.
come to the Great American Outdoor Show.
Dude, we talked about that. So I'd never been up until this weekend. And the last podcast, we had Benny and D on here, right? I'm not forgetting about you, but we were sitting here.
Travis just over there in timeout.
No, so we were sitting here and we were talking about this, and I was like, what should I expect? And they're like, you have no idea, and you really don't until you get here. You really have no clue. But with that being said, I do want to say I gotta say thank you to Wild Valley Outfitters and Ramrod. Both, well, you're part of Wild Valley as well. So, so y'all were gracious enough to let me put my stuff away. You were gracious enough to let us, to kind of take part in what y'all in your booth. By the way, the
Freaking
booth
headquarters, Mikey.
dude, the booth looked amazing.
Mikey, two booths over here.
Mikey,
No doubt.
So, but no, I really, really appreciate it. I mean, you didn't know me from Adam, and I just threw my jacket in there and all this stuff. It was like, okay, cool, go ahead.
Well, hey man, when you spend a week with somebody, you get to know people. And,
For sure.
And hey man, you walked my dad around the show today, and he bought a truck camper topper or something like that.
Oh yeah,
So he rolled out of there pretty happy. So
Oh yeah.
You guys are going moose hunting too, you and Mark, right?
man. Doubt.
Yeah. We got to figure that one out. We don't have anything scheduled. My wife is not going to freak out because I did not buy a moose hunt.
Mom, he did not book a trip. today.
Right? Exactly. Not saying that there's not a New Brunswick trip coming.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But no. So personally, thank you. Travis, I've talked to you. You when I was in a bad bind with the Airbnb from VRBO that absolutely sucked and didn't give me my money back, and sided with the homeowner, and the homeowner sucks too because they're great big jerks. Rant over. You and Lynn's were gracious enough to put me up here, and I cannot thank you enough.
Dude, without a question, are you kidding me?
I know.
Wouldn't even have been a thought.
But
No.
I'm still grateful for it. So now, with that being said, tell us about Wild Valley. How'd you get it? What made you decide, hey, I'm going to go up to Saskatchewan and I'm going to start a lodge? Start us from the beginning and roll us through.
Well,
And I'm going to drink my Bookers that he let me have a little bit of. So
I'll try to go fast so you don't go through your stash.
There's plenty more over there.
All right. Well, growing up, I just caught the bug for waterfowl, and even being in the Shenandoah Valley,
Sure.
the numbers aren't huge, but there's still birds there.
oh yeah,
And
don't tell people that.
I don't care if they come or not, man.
I do. No, it's all good.
All my buddies at home are like, "Shh, come on, man, what are you doing?"
Yeah, it's like the guy who's come on for Sitka deer. Don't talk about Sitka
No
anyway.
doubt. Anyways, I just love shooting ducks and geese. I love
Right.
chasing them and taking folks. And anyway, I got out of high school and, what do you want to do? And everybody's like, I want to shoot ducks. Well, screw it. I'm going to try to shoot some ducks, man, and make some money doing it.
Of course.
So I just started getting a hold of people. And I got, I went state to state, province to province, got the 10 best outfitters I could find, put them in a big list on my phone. And at night before bed, I would just email people. Boom, 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 boom. And I got a lot of no's. I got an offer to be a quail guide in Georgia, a
That ain't
deer
too
guide
bad.
somewhere else. That wasn't in Kansas, might have been Nebraska. I was like, man, I was just talking about ducks, dude. And I was like,
You got to start somewhere.
I was like, well, what'd I do? And then boom, I got an opportunity to go to Canada. And
Big
I
leagues, man.
Jumped it. And yeah, I went from the no leagues to the big leagues.
That's huge.
Yeah. And so, I make my way to Canada and I get off a plane. The first thing I see is a big field of sandhill cranes. And I'm like, dude, I'm never leaving this place.
And what do you call them?
Oh, what the
sandhill?
Terra freaking dactyls, Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, depending on your age. Here we go.
There we go. So yeah, I just got the opportunity to go up there and tried to make the most of it, and did the bird boy gig and whatever you got to do gig, and made some friends and learned a ton about duck hunting along the way. I mean that talking about trial by fire, you better know what's going on.
So that first year, basically, you worked your ass off.
I worked my ass
Earned
off.
your spot.
Earned my spot, went back, and was able to bring some buddies with me. One I wish would be here this evening, but that's neither here nor
Look,
there.
that's a technical difficulty
No,
on our
no,
part,
no.
man. I'm sorry.
No,
Not gonna talk about
I
it.
was hoping he'd still be at the show.
Oh yeah, we're thinking about it for
No
sure.
doubt.
I'm glad he's okay.
So I'm talking about James Hancock. He's my my buddy from growing up, and so we did the guy and deal together, and then
Good dude, by the way.
Great dude.
Great
Awesome
dude.
guy.
and so moved on from that job as things go, and was looking at other options, and boom, all of a sudden there's these allocations in Saskatchewan available, And,
Now tell us more about allocations.
So
because a lot of people don't understand that.
So Saskatchewan's broken up into like hunting zones or like are they wildlife management zones? I think that's what they're called, Travis.
Yeah.
And so when you want to outfit, commercially hunt up there, you have to either buy allocations. Well, you do have to buy allocations from a private party. And so they only have so many allocations for these zones to be able to, guide waterfowl in them. And so they don't come up very often. And when they do, there's not really that much of a public market for it. And so it was kind of, I don't know, luck or divine intervention or whatever it was. And, I was looking for something a little bit, but not that really.
Right.
And, I'm newly married at the time. And it was like, hey, what do you think about this? And she said, well, first off, that's a lot of money. What are you going to do about that? And I was like, well, that's for another time. What do you think about this? And she said, well, if you're going to keep doing it, well, you might as well run the thing.
Right.
So that was about as much permission as I needed.
Yeah.
And so, I went to the person that has supported me my entire life, and that's my dad.
Yeah.
And so, I work
By
on
the
the farm.
way, met it like you said, met him today. Mm-hmm. Coolest guy on the planet.
Yeah,
man.
I'm happy to say that my dad's one of the coolest dudes on the
He
planet.
is. He by far. I mean, I met him. I was hoping he was coming on the podcast. He goes, no.
No shot.
Not gonna happen.
No shot.
Not gonna happen.
I mean, maybe in Saskatchewan, if we shoot like 100 birds and you get him pretty good, he's
get
good
him-
and jacked up.
yeah, there you go.
You might get him on for a little bit.
All right.
But
I'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on that a little bit. 'Cause, yeah, that would be fun. But no, yeah. So I went to Dad, and I worked for my dad for the last, I don't know, closing on 10 years,
Right.
maybe 8 years. Grew up on a poultry farm, and the last 6-8 years I've worked for my dad, running and managing the farm. So that's what I do when I'm not waterfowl hunting or guiding or whatever. So I went to him, and he said, man, tell me about it. And, I kind of told him what I knew about it and found out more. And, he knows the guiding thing, how much it means to me and how much I love it. And he was like, you know what? I can't think of a better thing to do than do this. He said, if you want to chase it,
Go for
it. My brother Andrew, my oldest brother, kind of caught wind of it as well and talked to him. And he was like, dude, let's do that. And
How many brothers you got?
I've got 3 brothers, man.
Okay.
So I got 3 brothers, and
Are you the youngest or middle?
I'm the youngest. So yeah, I mean, it was I can never tell them how much I appreciate that. They kind of took the leap with me. I kind of brought something to them, and they were like, "All right, do you have a plan?" And well, yeah, I got a plan, and this is how we can do it, and this is what we need to do, and we probably ought to do it fast. And boy, did it happen fast. And before I forget, I'll never forget. But there's one more person that that helped me start the outfitter, and that's Brad Long. And he's like,
Brad Long.
Brad
Wild
Long,
man.
and all these guys are saying that because you just got to meet Brad Long.
You do.
And there's everybody that's listening to this has a person in their life that you're like, you just got to meet this guy. And once you meet him, you'll never forget him.
Yep.
And Brad Long's just always been that guy. He's kind of the sheepdog of like our group at home.
For sure.
And he just looks out after guys.
Oh, yeah.
And so, he's a very successful businessman.
Yep.
And I hunt with that dude 24/7. When I guide, he was always coming on trips.
Right.
And just been super supportive. And when we started to do this thing, he was like, dude, I need in on this. Brad, I need that. Let's do that.
That sounds like fun.
I
Sounds like fun.
I talked to Brad. He's like, I'll write you a check. What do you need, man? I was like, hold on a second. Let's get this thing set up. I mean, that's Brad, and he's been supportive since day one. So, but yeah, so we kind of got the gang together, and this was in the spring, and we wanted to run.
Spring of what?
Spring of 19.
Okay.
So this is spring of
So
19.
this is prior COVID. Or it was like
Right
kicking on COVID door.
Yeah, we're knocking on it.
All right.
They're doing stuff in Wuhan at that point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Yep. No.
So, yeah, so we want to run in the fall of 19. And I'm like, well, if we're going to do it, let's do it. So we, had to get all the licensing process done. I had to have a background check and all this stuff, and went through, finally made the sale and doing all that stuff. Well, by the time that gets done, it's like July, man. And we're going to run in September and October. And so, I was super hesitant about selling hunts before I was official. Because what happens if, a technicality happens and then I'm not able to do it until the next fall, and I've sold 5-6 hunts? Well, your reputation's kind of screwed
you're
before
done.
you start.
Yeah.
So it's like, boy, we're waiting until fourth quarter here. Boom, got it done. All right, I need guys. And Brad Long, the first thing he says, we're doing it with Travis Stalk if he's available. And I said, all right. So I made a phone call, and,
Y'all didn't know each other.
I knew him through Facebook, and that was it. And, I knew who he was, and he probably didn't have any idea who I was, but I called him, and he,
No kidding.
brother man, here we go. And a friendship was born.
That is too cool.
So, me and him and Matt Bratton out of Southern Virginia, who has a guide service in Arkansas. And so it was like, all right, we got the Snow Goose guy Snow Goose guides are crazy.
Oh, dude, hardest working guy in the industry by far. Now, I'm
gonna give Matt Bratton a plug real quick because he's gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh, screw you, Doyle! You couldn't even say was it Brushy Bayou?"
I'm sorry, man.
Brushy Bayou outfit.
I was trying to do
You
it.
gypsy. The Snow Goose gypsy.
So I had a Snow Goose guide and I had a river rat. And and you got a Valley Boy. That sounds like a downtown river band to me.
I'm telling you. So y'all should have named it the Smoky Bottom River Boys.
doubt.
I'm telling you, man.
We're like a moonshine band.
Absolutely.
We hooking trailers up and we're heading for Saskatchewan.
Jesus.
And I booked what I could, and I had a little bit of time left, and Travis was like, step aside, I got this. Boom, he rolls in and he helped out. Matt came in super clutch, and we booked ourselves an entire October and bit off a good chunk of September. I could not believe what happened in those 80 days.
Power sesh in the summer.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Facebook, we would have
Instagram.
And we would have these calls with the three of us, and those guys were like, "Yeah, I owned it. My name was on it." But these guys were so invested,
right?
And they were like, "Dude, if we're doing this, let's freaking do it."
Yeah.
And so these guys are fired up, and that's how the entire season went.
Travis gets the all-in award.
Yeah,
Travis fired up? No. Never.
No offense, no offense to Matt, but MVP. We had a good.
It worked
season.
out really good, though.
It did. It worked out so good.
When we talked about it, one of the first things we were talking about the zones.
Yeah.
And one of the zones, the main zone that we hunt, is a big chunk of what I used to hunt Doyle's been hunting up there for years. I've been hunting up there for years. You were a little bit closer to Alberta line when I was kind of central where we are now. And so half of what I used to hunt, we had a good little bit to work on. And then, he's like, well, have you ever scouted closer to the lake and this and that? And no, I haven't. And that was where you started out with. And it just was right from the get-go.
Hand in
everything was
glove.
working. I know.
It was hand in glove. He could go back in and just literally fill the seams in where he knew. He's like, all right, I've got this. Now go do other stuff. Go find other stuff. I can handle this right here. And so he was just consistently banging out hunts out of these spots like a machine. And so it gave time for me and Matt. Matt was in the rig a lot, and so it gave time for me to just go freestyle. And we run around a lot before the season and in the summertime, but you don't know what it's going to be like until those birds start coming from the north. It's all these places you're like, this has got to be great. Well, there ain't what you thought was going to be on there.
Right.
And then you got to find those little holes and idiosyncrasies that every spot in the world that holds waterfowl has. Why that ditch has ducks and this one doesn't, who knows?
Right.
But we just got to find them and then kill them. So, that's what we did. And
being 5-6 years guiding into it in a completely different zone, and then starting your own outfitter, and then being given completely different zones, and Doyle lost all of his landowners, all of his it's not just friends and landowners and farmers up there; it's family.
Yeah.
The Canadian people are awesome. And so when he came over, there was also Tyler Walter and Tanner and, Lennon, and, they're part of our, outfitter as well.
sure.
Now, here's the thing, though, and I'll tell you, I completely understand, if the ducks aren't there, right? Ducks aren't there, all right, the ducks just aren't there. There's no amount of wishing and hoping and praying that they're ever going to show up, that they show up, right? Benny's living proof of that one, right? We talked about that.
Thanks.
No. We talked about that one on the last podcast, right? No amount of hoping that the ducks are going to show up are going to show up, right? And so given that, though, the thing that people need to understand is you both bring years and years of true waterfowl understanding and guiding. So I don't want somebody to misconceive the notion that you just went up there and you know, there's this and there's that. Y'all got up there, and because of your capability and your knowledge and, you know, expertise, you put people on ducks. Don't sell yourself short.
I appreciate that.
You know,
I
I don't care what anybody says, but you can't say, because you know how a duck finishes. You know how they're going to finish in a wind. You know when the winds are coming. You know, you can figure out, all right, this pond right here, you've done the scouting. You figured out, all right, you know, the ducks don't typically go in that pond, so let's not screw with that. Right. So I don't want anybody to think again that you missed that this is something that you just, it just happened. Mm-hmm. It did, but it did because you guys have an astronomical amount of expertise that go with it. Same thing with Benny over here. You know, Benny's successful in the blind because he can call good, because he understands how the ducks are going to roll in. Right. So don't sell yourself short. I'm going to stop. But short of that, keep going, man. I didn't mean to throw a kink in a slinky there.
Yeah, I mean there is more to that. I mean, you do a lot of studying and research, and you know, all right, you know, we're going to put a lodge. Where we're going to put it. You know, we're going to be too far from our, you know, where the main roosts are going to be. So you got to drive up there. You know, me and Dad went up and looked at some places and looked at the zone, and was constantly on the phone with Travis and FaceTiming him. And, you know, where are the peas at? I'm like, Travis, it's June, dude. Like, I don't know.
The peas, bro, man.
You know, I'm not going to knock on the farmer's door and ask him what they planted this year. I'll just wait and see. So
Travis would be knocking on the door.
Yes, he would.
Like, where you at Frugal's? All right, let me call him real quick.
Yeah.
He's got barley.
So, no, yeah, you definitely, there is a lot of preparation to it. But, you know, sometimes the point of that was just like, sometimes things just happen. You just got to go with it.
Right.
And like, did I expect to really go run that fall? Well, I was going to try. Why not? You know, if you're going to go through the problem or the trouble of getting all the licensing stuff, might as well run it as soon as you can. But yeah, it came together in that aspect. But then once we got up there, it was grind time. I mean, it's
all right. So I've seen some videos. All right. So I'm gonna ask Benny. You've seen videos. Mm-hmm. You got to describe it.
Oh yeah. I don't even. There's not words for it. There's nowhere else that it's just birds.
Just shout out to Jordan Brake and Curtis Blosser for the videography that made Bennett speechless.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Was the first time I think I saw them at the show.
Yeah.
And I sat and watched those videos on repeat of their booth, to where they were like, "Is this guy okay?
I did
What's
that.
wrong with him?" I was just standing in the booth, just amazed at these groups of geese.
I did the same thing today. I was sitting here watching him. I'm like,
yeah, I was having a conversation with you, and then he just looked past me.
I totally did. I was sitting there. I was like,
"Oh, it's the pintails coming in." Never mind. Watch away.
Watch away. Enjoy.
It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. But so I'm going to ask the question: how fast can you limit out up there? What's your fastest? I know you know it.
Snows or ducks?
Ducks. We'll stick with ducks.
Okay. Ducks. I was not on this hunt. I spotted it, or I helped spot it, but I think Billy Quaid was on this hunt, and I think they did. There was 5 guys, a ducks man. It was 40 ducks, and I think they did it in like under 12. I think.
That's really good.
And that's
really good.
Yeah, and that was in a dry field.
That
my God.
Every bit of what you think it is. Because there's been times up there when I would freelance when I first started going up there.
Sure.
Right? And so Doyle, he's been guiding ever since he's gone up there. I freelanced for a long time, and then I got the
That's tough, man.
and whatnot.
That's freaking tough.
48 ducks in 40 minutes happened a bunch. All right. So 40 ducks in 12 minutes, let me tell you. All right.
And he had like assassins on that hunt. Like they did not miss. Like they're shooting collateral. So it's like big bunches of ducks, and they're like he was doing pickups after everyone. Like they were just standing and shooting. And I've had a snow goose hunt like that, where you're in the white coats, and it's like kind of stormy, but it's shooting light, and the sun's trying to get up, but it's still really dark and hazy. And those snows are hungry, and they're just bombing in that field. But then you'll have these groups that come like, I don't know, like 25, 30 feet off the ground, just scraping the field and flipping in. and they can't see anything, and they're coming to this white mass, and they're just standing and shooting them.
Oh my
And
God.
so that they did 100 in under a half hour one day.
Oh no way.
my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
So your sons get pretty
Dude, that
wild.
is literally,
Dear
and
God.
they were coming so hard and so fast. Like we weren't shooting cripples. Like it was like 100 dead in the decoys.
Oh my
'Cause
God.
I'll be honest with you. At Wild Valley Outfitters,
There you go. Good plug.
we don't really like if you can shoot 100 snows, we're not shooting 100 snows. This is kind of an industry secret. We're shooting upper 90s because you don't know what dinged over the hill.
Right.
And if Mr. Green Jeans is sitting there watching you,
Yep.
they're not green in Canada. What are they?
I thought they were blue.
Dark brown,
Dark
blue.
I thought they were blue,
It
but
might be blue.
blue or gray.
Blue Jeans is sitting over there in the, watching us, and he comes and checks, and we say, yeah, we got 100 on the nose. And he goes, no, you don't. I saw you ding 2 over that hill, and I got him in my truck.
Yeah.
Then you're over.
Yeah.
You just got to be responsible.
Sure.
But this hunt, they were coming so fast and so hard and so low, they were just killing right in the decoys. And the guy, and literally me and the other guy that was on it just stood there and was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was just like you counted them with a pitch counter. We're 100, we're done. Picked them all up. It was so crazy. Now that's like whoa, that's why I still tell
That's a
that
once
story.
in a lifetime story, but Jesus, it's a story.
Once in a
nonetheless.
lifetime story. Best combo
You give
shoot.
Travis on
Yeah.
a couple hours on a windy morning in Saskatchewan, you're gonna get 100 snows.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So, all right. So the other thing too, before I kind of go, now y'all have a lodge up there. You started off on that. You bought a place or you setting up a place and you got it all built. Tell us about your lodge.
Travis, you want to do that? You might be able to explain that good too.
I'll tell you what, yeah.
We are renting a lodge.
Okay.
For now.
So yeah, we're just kind of getting in right now, and we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna have our own little spot and all that. That's all for the
Okay.
future
No.
to come. Where we're at right now is it's a real nice spot, big, lot of room. It's so the landowner bought the existing school and turned it in and furbished it into like living quarters.
Oh, that's cool.
And it is beautiful. It's plenty of room. There is 2 kitchens. It could sleep 40 people.
Holy
we don't
Jesus.
do that. But now it's like instead of your guide's lodge being across town,
Yep.
we're
right
kind
in
of
it.
separated, but we're still there.
Yeah.
And so, and like our food setup is awesome. Our buddy Wyatt right down, 15 minutes away in town. He's got, this sports bar, restaurant, retired NHL player. He actually played a German guy in the movie The Goon. Shout
Oh
out.
Lord. All right.
There, let me tell you, there's times where I'm texting him the night. I'm like, dude, they're hunting in the morning early. Don't keep them up late.
Right.
He's like, well, we got shots going. It's like, all right, well, it's an awesome, awesome place. And, we're right in one of the prime zones that people hear about. And they're like, other outfitters are like, you're over there? I've been
Right.
trying to get over there my whole career.
Yeah.
And so once again, it's just that everything fit hand in hand and piece with that.
Dude, that's
And so, oh yeah.
that's an impressive story. I got to admit.
Yeah, I'm excited about this lodge, man. I mean, that was literally Travis's lead on that, and it was just like we were able to find this really cool spot. It had a lot of room, and
Right.
that's the biggest thing with an outfitter is just
That's it.
you finding a good space for guys and
Right.
making sure that when they come up and hunt, you're not sitting on top of people. They got room to do their thing. You
Yep.
got room to do your thing.
Yep.
It's a business, man, and it's hard to do business right on top of people all
you
the
can't.
time. You can't
Cabin
do it.
fever
You won't be
is a real
successful
thing.
at
You
it.
won't do
That's
good.
for-
You won't do good business,
Right.
And so we're trying to be as professional as we can,
Right.
But we are there to do pretty much one thing and get our clients birds every single day,
Right.
And so that's what we're going to do.
So what does somebody need to do going up into, say I book a hunt with you. What do I need to know?
Don't fly through Toronto. That's the first thing I'll say. Stay away from Toronto.
All right.
Fly through Minneapolis.
All right, what's the problem with Toronto?
Toronto, how much time you got?
Okay.
Okay,
I
I'm just
got you.
kidding. No, we've only had one incident with guys going home, and it was our fathers. It was my dad and Travis's dad and Brad Long.
Yep.
Okay.
And so they just had a problem. Like the customs there kept like forgetting. It was a whole thing. It was something they were not putting their guns through or something, and it made them stay overnight.
That terrifies me. I heard this story. Brad told me about this story in
I'm
the
sure
blind.
he did.
Oh yeah. I remember hearing about this.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, when you're in the Pinto Marsh,
Yeah,
she was telling you that
absolutely,
story.
absolutely.
I can't use that language on this podcast.
Yeah.
but it didn't go well for the home team. Is what I'll
did
say.
not. It did not. I remember this now.
So they got to figure it out. But what I'll say is the folks in Minneapolis, that time of year they see so many guns. It's like a bag of golf clubs.
Right.
They don't care. They're putting it on the
Kansas
plane.
is the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with places that deal with it that frequently, especially that time of year, they don't give it a second look.
Right.
You know, everybody goes through there. You go on a small plane going into Regina, Saskatchewan, October 4th. That entire plane is going to be old dudes duck hunting.
Right.
Top to bottom. Top to bottom. It's going to be bottom land and Sitka gear coming off that bad boy.
That is no exaggeration.
I'm
That
telling you,
is
you come out there and look and be like, oh,
99%.
those guys are going to Prairie Rose, and those are going to Wild Valley, and there's some guys going to Prairie Limits. It's like, you just look at the hats, just see what's going on. I'm telling you, man, that's just how it is. That's how it is.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
So they're used to it, and traveling through that area, no problems.
Right.
So that's what I'll say. The next thing is when I tell people to pack for Saskatchewan, it's like, what's the weather going to be like? Flip a coin, dude.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute. Late September can be real snowy, or it can be 80 in the afternoon while we're duck hunting.
Right.
So when I say 80 in the afternoon duck hunting, people are like, "Oh my goodness!" But it's Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Those things have to feed. So when it's 80, when they're still coming,
Oh yeah.
they're still coming. That's why I love Canada.
Right.
Is that they're not weather dependent feeders. They have to feed because they have to move south.
Right.
So
Now, y'all knocked down a lot with hardware on them too, right? I've seen some of the pictures.
yeah.
I've seen some of the pictures.
Yeah, we do. I'll be honest. I'll probably knock down 80% of the bands that I've ever been a part of or been on a hunt with, not in Canada, on fun hunts. Canada, we do shoot some bands,
Right.
but it's not as many as you would think. And
Really?
I don't know what your experience with it has been, Travis, but my experience is like, it takes a whole lot of birds to get a band up in Canada.
Oh, absolutely. Something's definitely changed in like the last 7-8 years that I've out of. Now, the first 7-8 years, I
You
was
guys
hunting
were
up there.
trashing them up there.
It was a ton of goose bands and a ton of like we would shoot a lot of blue-winged teal and bands. Like there was one hunt where those 5 blue-winged teal bands that I have, I got 5 out of the 8, and we shot all 8, and they were all banded. And so, like they all wanted to split them up, and half of the group was like, "Give them to the kid," and I was like, "Yeah." At 16 years old, sideburns in tow. But the last 6, 7, 8 years, we haven't really gotten a lot of bands. I mean, it's been a few every couple, like if that, 1, 2, 3. More mallards.
More mallards. Yeah,
When I was down there, it was just a lot of geese. A third of the goose bands I have on my lanyard came from Canada.
eBay.
Hey, if you're a first-time duck hunter,
Link from me.
No, to be fair, you got some bands too.
I got one.
All right, there you go.
band. I'm just kidding.
Singular band.
Dude, that was barbaric.
So sorry.
so-
it was right there. I'm
So,
so sorry.
you know what's funny?
Medium well. Yeah.
Yeah, no joke.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah. So here's what's
Shame
funny.
on you.
I don't have a single band on any. No, I don't keep them. If I'm not calling them, if I don't call that duck in, I don't keep my band.
Okay.
I give it to whoever's calling, and that's my rule, my personal rule.
Hunt with me, man. I like.
I said we need more guys like Mikey in the world.
But
Oh, Mikey, no band.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I've only ever shot like 3 that I called in. So I'm not gonna bitch, but that's.
Hey, the man has principles, all right.
I do.
Stay off his back, Travis.
Right. I don't shoot ducks on the water.
Nope.
Benny.
Stresses me out.
Dude, you're missing out, Mikey.
Stresses me
You're
out.
missing out.
No, can't do it. But so I kind of jumped in on that one. But so how does somebody, if they go in there and they decide, hey, I'm going to go up to Canada. You mentioned flying in through Minneapolis.
Yep.
Normally people don't have problems getting guns in there, but you can't do ammo. So what do y'all do for ammo?
So fortunately, both the airports there in Saskatchewan have a Cabela's like under 15 minutes, and those 2 Cabela's are really good about keeping ammo in stock. I mean,
Of course, a bunch of old guys getting off the plane.
no doubt. Yeah, I
See
mean,
how they set that up?
Exactly.
They're all like, oh, let's put a Cabela's right next to the airport.
capitalism. You know?
At its finest.
No doubt. So yeah, I mean, they pull skids of stuff in there. So guys, just get off the airport, go buy a couple cases of shells,
Right.
and meet me at the lodge because it's about to go down. So that's basically step by step what you need to do. When you get to the lodge, we've got your license for you. It comes in our packaging.
Oh, cool.
So we got your license, your stamp. You come in, put your John Hancock on that. Travis is going to go over some lodge stuff with you, give you a little tour, do the do.
Take
and
your
then
shoes off at the door, brother, man.
Travis will lodge bomb you a little bit. Have the boys come over, meet you. We'll kind of tell you what the next couple of days are going to hold.
Right.
Tell you, our schedule for the morning.
Right.
This is kind of how we like to run things. When I tell you tail lights at 4:45, that doesn't mean that you're getting in my trucks at 4:45. That means that you're seeing tail lights leave this lodge at 4:45.
Right.
So that's how we like to run it. Keep it sharp. You guys are coming up here and hunt and have fun, but we ain't gonna kill them if we're late.
Right.
So let's go.
Yeah.
So we'll just set that up. We'll be clear. Hey, this is what we're gonna do in the morning. I mean, are you guys wanting to target stuff, or are you just
Right.
here to make good piles and make memories?
Right.
You tell us.
And we'll make it happen.
And we'll make it happen.
That's cool.
And so if most guys are like, just give me the best you got.
Yeah.
And so we'll go to him and say, all right, Travis will be like, listen, he's like a Vegas car dealer. I got cranes, I got Canadas, and I got Specklebellies. I'll be like, easy, man. That Specklebelly field's mine. All right, don't be jumping on my specs now.
There you go.
It's Mondo, brother.
Oh, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, we'll lay it out for him. And it's like, these are the two best that we have. Which one would you rather do?
Right.
And so, if you don't care, all right, wind's better for this one, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
High's going to be better. That's what we're going to do. We'll let you know what's going on. And then in the morning, it's go time.
Right. Now y'all put a lot of work into figuring out what's going to be the best
For sure.
for the next day, right?
Scouting.
Oh God, I can't imagine how much your fuel bill is for scouting.
Dude, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. Like me and Travis literally had a conversation today about getting fuel tanks put in at our lodge that we're renting.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people do that too much, but it was like, boy, how clutch would that be to have a big old fuel tank there? Mm-hmm. So everybody in our town that we are in now is going to be like, oh, we can go to Wild Valley Outfitters and get fuel.
What you get though, Mikey, when you come up is you get people, you get us that this is our dream job here.
Sure.
This is our passion.
sure.
All right. Between me and
correct.
Doyle, it's almost 30 years of combined experience up there. All right. And then if we start adding in the other guides and the amount that they have years guiding in there, because you forget that it was Doyle's two best friends that were at the other place with him. And then you talk about Tyler Walter, our guide.
All
that
big
is
names.
Our local Canadian guide there, and his assistant Tanner Lennon. I mean, we've known
heard you
these
talk about
since they were little, and
Sure.
I used to root for them while they were playing high school football.
Sure.
All right, and these towns, they're behind us, and we've got their support, and they've got our back. And I'm telling you, get in with the guys who know all the farmers and have everything
valuable.
locked up.
Travis himself, his roots are deep in a couple of, a lot of those little small towns up there. The people at the convenience store, I check out behind them or something. They don't know if we know each other or anything. They'll be like, has that guy been up here a lot? I just feel like I remember him. It's just people are like,
He's not easy to forget.
I was like, yeah, he's been up here for 10, 15 years. More, he's been up here a lot. And they're like, I knew I remember that guy,
Yeah.
But it just, everybody knows him up there. It's crazy to me. But
Sorry, we're doing a time check. So
you're good,
No,
man.
y'all
You're
are
good.
good. Y'all are good. So
Like baseball coach, signals or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Sammy Sosa.
normally I have like a clock going. I forgot to set it this time. So
you're good, man.
Benny's got my back there, so it's all good.
You just flicks them off real quick.
What time is it? Wouldn't you like to know?
So where we at, Benny? You can say it.
We are 38.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Great.
cool.
So the other thing, I don't like I try to keep this, so y'all know, I try to keep it to an hour on Fridays.
Yeah.
We started doing Wednesdays, Hunt Day with the Hunting Quest. We're going to try to shrink that down to 30 minutes. That's a good to know type stuff. And then we'll do, obviously this is just a good cutting up, having a good time type deal. So getting back to the podcast though, when y'all sat down and you said, "Hey, look, this is a real thing, right? This is gonna happen, and you're doing it, right?" And personally, I couldn't imagine. I've only known you for a very short period of time, but you seem like a really good dude, man. I think the world of you. So, but I mean, that's a big ask. That's a big ask for number one. I think it's amazing that you didn't know him from hole in the wall. I mean, Brad.
I trust Brad, and Brad vouched for Travis.
I think that's cool.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
People that I really trust, man. That's all you got to. That's all you need.
I think that's cool. I think that is so cool. I do,
and it's worked out great.
Brad Long is really
gun
like
down,
the
Trav.
key ingredient in all this. Is Brad Long?
Yeah.
Because it's just like who he knew,
Sure.
and then like I mean, Dole's more than just one of my best friends. He's like a brother.
Sure.
No doubt.
Like I would go to him, and I have gone to him about a lot of things, and been like, whether I'm, feeling amazing about something, and I just want to, share it with one of my, best friends, or just, I'm going through a hard time, and I need kind of like another little bit of advice.
Yep.
And like even with stuff like Ramrod, there's a lot of times where I'm like, what do you think, man? Like, can I bounce this off you and this and that? And like, I mean, I tell you what. I couldn't say enough about Doyle Weaver.
That's cool.
The whole Weaver clan.
That's cool.
The whole Weaver clan, and it's just one of those things where this Wild Valley deal right here, it's going to be something that are going to be speaking
That's
about
awesome
for the ages, brother. Oh, yeah.
No
Legendary
doubt.
status.
So,
And that starts with a good team, man. We got the best team.
it's funny. So we were going around to this past week trying to get videos, doing a lot of interviews with a bunch of people. We got, Uncle Catfish, he came in and in clutch, and he covered a lot of stuff. And, we got a bunch of, Lacey, we got a new arrival. So
That's my wife.
So we got Lacey who came in, and she decides that, Lacey comes in and, with Catfish, and they, killed it, got us some interviews, things like that. We got so much going on, this week, right? It's a ton of work, right? I sat down and I was like, I looked at y'all, you're doing your thing. We went over and I got to meet your dad. And man, this whole week has been almost surreal. I mean, it really has. It's been
a good week.
It's been a really good week. I agree. So out of the show though, what do you think has there been a highlight for y'all? Has there been other than the dude in the blue shirt?
Dude. Come on, man. Come on, man. You're going to get me in trouble if you get me started on that.
Oh, no. Feel free.
Dude, I can't, man. I can't.
Oh, if you don't, I will. His hero growing up was Joan Jett, right?
Well, you start and I'll color commentate for you. I'll jump in.
So I'm sitting there today and I'm listening. I don't even know who the guy was. He comes up to you and says, "Hey man," he's talking to you, and he goes, "I got you that guy over there. He's gonna sign up for a hunt." He's like, "Which guy?"
Oh, okay.
The guy in the blue shirt.
Oh, no.
Dude, this guy had a mullet that went to his butt.
Oh, dude. And it wasn't even like a butt. It was a stringy one.
Yeah.
It was like oh, dude.
It was ugly.
It was a Johnny Paycheck, just little dangler out the back, dude. Oh.
It was like two sizes bigger than a rat tail, man.
It was rugged.
Oh, my God. And then he had the side shaved. Like, not like shave, but like, it was like a wannabe fade that just didn't happen.
Extra ratchety.
Oh, but he had the line for the...
Probably Matt Bratton's uncle.
He went to the barbershop and he's like, "Hey, dude, give me the natural disaster."
That's my Uncle Clyde. Give me the natural disaster. I would agree. It was definitely a disaster. It wasn't even cool enough to say, that dude's sporting the mullet. He's sophisticated up front, party in the back. No, it was just bad all the way around, man. It was terrible.
Definitely a highlight of today.
It was
definitely a highlight of today.
for sure.
So,
but with all that being said, man, so what was your highlight? So far this week? Have you had one?
Oh man, every time somebody's came up and they've booked a trip, that's been my highlight every time. I think that's been the same for Doyle. I'm speaking for him as well. Seeing all of the old faces and making new friends and whatnot, and just what everything's about here. The amount of opportunity and networking, and it's just one of those things where the Harrisburg Expo, the Great American Outdoor Show, is the anchor in any outfitter, charters, scheduling season. Yeah. And if it isn't,
the
you're
amount
missing
of
out.
friends that we make from this show, network. Yeah, you do network.
Yeah.
But me and Mikey. I mean, it's like we're building friendships from this place. John and Lori from Montana, they have an elk outfitter out there. All these people that we're meeting. Kyle Pennegear with Prairie Rose Outfitters in Saskatchewan. Awesome guy. Like
Awesome outfitter too.
Awesome outfitter.
They're one of the juggernauts out there.
They are. Really? They are one of the juggernauts out there.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for 25 years. And like
everybody with Mouse River.
Like I just have so much respect for those guys. And I'm one of the younger guys over there, and they completely go out of their way to welcome like me and James and Travis over there.
Plenty of room at the top, right?
No doubt. And
That's cool.
they're just super cool about all that stuff. And we can go and just kind of chop it up about things that we're all interested in. We're all like-minded guys. We're all doing the same thing.
Sure.
And Kyle said it best. And he's a Canadian dude, and I have so much respect for that guy. And he's like, we're all doing the same thing. Why can't we be friends while we do it?
Yeah, I agree.
And it was
it doesn't happen that way too often.
And I had a guy come by the show this week, and I talked to him, and he wanted a specific thing out of a hunt. And I was like, you know what? I think that Kyle at Prairie Rose is going to be able to serve you better.
Sure.
And that kind of blew that dude away. I was like, well, you're probably not going to book with me. I know how this conversation went. So I'm going to send you where you should book.
Right.
So I sent him over there, and he booked him, and he did the same thing to me like a day later.
That's
so
cool.
It's like, there's some competition there. Everybody wants to be the best, but
of course.
But there doesn't have to be like a mean-spirited competition.
Right.
I'll send him a picture. Dude, we smoked the snows today. Dude, we freaking pounded the ducks this morning.
That's pretty
Cheers,
cool.
brother. Like that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And those guys from Mouse River in North Dakota, like they're directly south of us. They're just all great guys. I can't say enough about the people that we meet here. It's awesome.
Well, and I'll tell you, hold that thought real quick. But one of the things I thought was really, really cool in all of this was, at least I've seen outfitters that are cutthroat, want to just, I'm not sharing anything. We can't exist on the planet together. It's just not going to happen, right? And it's sad to see that. One of the things that I believe in is we all don't have, one person doesn't have the solution. You mentioned
Agreed.
it yourself. You've got a multitude of people that you've surrounded yourself with. Travis is a phenomenal business person. He's got a multituit of good people around him. And
I got good catchphrases. I don't know.
you do, but I mean, if you want somebody to sell hunts, Travis is going to do it, right? Yeah. So, but what and the reason what I like most about it is, everybody thinks, oh, I got the solution to be the best. Well, okay, cool. You don't. And you think that, but you don't.
Right.
What happens if you've got 100 people with 1% of the solution? Now you got a crowdsourced solution from a multitude of different ways,
right?
And now you really do have a solution. And it's the same way with the guides. You brought in people that are good at snow goose. You brought in guys that like Travis who knew the area. You got all of these different things that are going on. That's the solution. And I wish more people would recognize that sooner rather than later. And I mean, I couldn't imagine not having to worry about booking a hunt with a crappy guide.
Yeah.
How cool would that be? I've been screwed over so many times. And y'all don't have that,
Well, reputation is, people are kidding themselves if they don't think that that's one of the biggest parts of an outfitter.
Agreed.
You can shoot the best there is, but if you're doing sketchy things to do it or not honoring this or that, then that it kind of falls by the wayside what you're doing if your reputation goes, and so you just try to do your best. Yeah. It is not an easy business.
Right.
You're providing a service that is inconsistent at best.
Yeah.
And I feel like we all try to do our
best. And it's a specialty service.
I agree.
I tell you mentioned the team, but it really, really helps when the guy playing quarterback is a young Peyton Manning or Tom Brady type.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say.
All right. You want to talk about how outfitting and operating? Doyle's a natural born leader.
Sure.
You're a natural at it, bro.
You've been hanging around them chickens too long. Is the problem?
They listen to me better.
Exactly.
Hey, go over there.
When you compare it to the Snuggies Gypsy, yeah, chickens is way better.
I mean, I've told these guys a lot. I think guiding is a whole lot more fun than outfitting.
Oh, yeah.
But outfitting's pretty rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
When you're able to take a step back, and in the early days, the step backs and like, oh man, look at this, don't come very often or as often as they should,
right?
Because you're just so worried about everything all the time.
Well, actually, that's a really good comment that you made, and people, and I've caught myself doing it too. People misconstrue that. They don't understand the difference between outfitting and guiding.
It's a huge difference, man.
Tell us.
Well, all right. Just real quick. When you're guiding, the only thing in the world you have to worry about is the next flock of birds.
Right.
It don't matter. Food, well, okay.
Somebody's going to feed me.
Who's paying at the bar tonight? Oh, the clients will probably do that. All right, I'll probably just sleep with my boots on and wake up and go do it again. It doesn't matter. As long as my trailer's clean and the roads are good enough for me to get to my field, I don't care about anything else.
Right.
When you're an outfitter, where the food at for the clients? Where are the clients at? Are they going to get lost on the way to the lodge? What's Travis doing? Where's Tyler at? Where's James at? What's going on? Where, how many feeds do I have? Did the coyote go and blow up my snow goose feed? Oh my goodness! It's like, did my tire? The tires on the trailer are all blown out. There's a million different things to worry about at any given time. Now, I'm not. That's just outfitting.
Oh yeah,
you're worried about everything all the time, and then when it's deep in the season, and just like I said about the guide's state of mind, then you've got to wrangle 3 or 4 guides that are the only thing they care about is the next flock of birds. Right. They are there to kill birds.
Right.
And so you're trying to, hey guys, we need to do this.
Herding cats.
It's just like I learned that, and so it just is super different in that regard.
Right.
But I love it all.
So anticipating the future and being able to fortune tell it while being in control of the now and keeping everything in the past organized.
Yeah, no.
That's outfitting and operating right there.
And I'm far from perfect at that. Far. I'm working on it. I'm doing my best.
He's a lot better at it.
That's
than
cool.
He gives himself credit for.
Yeah, well,
let me tell you,
least he
2019
didn't come on
when
here
we were
trying
a
to-
3-man operation, Mikey, let me tell you, we wouldn't have got through it.
At least he didn't come
Doyle,
on here
'cause he
trying to
was
say,
the leader.
I'm good. I got this. I'm Peyton Manning.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Omaha, Ford.
the sheriff of Saskatchewan.
Cha-chang, cha-chang.
So if you were talking to Benny, right? You said, hey, Benny, Benny gives you a resume. His resume says, hey, I want to come up and work for you. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for. I really don't. I look at the paper, but I want to talk to the guy.
Sure.
And then the next thing I want to do is I want to hunt with that guy.
Sure.
I don't hire people that I don't hunt with. And the simple fact is that if I could sit in a blind with this guy and all the little, the things that you think about when you're hunting with a guy for the first time.
Sure.
If you see any of those red flags, then he can't take other people hunting.
I got you.
Because there's guys that you hunt with all the time that you wouldn't necessarily want guiding a hunt.
Right.
There's certain
They're fun to
qualities
hunt with.
They're fun to hunt with, but boy, you don't want to put Daffy Duck in charge.
Oh, hell no.
So without, that's the case. So
Duck in charge.
it's
That's
true,
awesome.
man.
You know who really was impressive? You remember that boy Chad? Man, he goes,
Yeah.
so he came up to us and he was wanting to, he's looking for a job and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like,
At the
can
show,
I?
at the show this
Yeah,
week.
no, at the show this week.
Okay.
And he's like, can I try to get some of my boys and we book a hunt? Like what if I book a hunt? Because at the end of the day, what we were getting at to him was, how bad do you want it?
Right.
I was even telling him, would you break up with your girlfriend for it?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Travis giving on-site interviews, man.
Wow.
I'm right there with you. You want to impress us? Do some
Break up with your girlfriend. You can have a job at Wild Valley Outfitters.
Here we go. I'm talking about. No. Yeah, break up with your girlfriend.
What kind
and
of
book
culture
a
those
trip,
guys
all
run
right?
in Wild Valley?
Book a trip, all right? And so, that's the whole thing about it, all right? Once again, I was going up there for years freelancing, and then as soon as I had the opportunity, I dropped everything. I almost burned a bridge with my whole career path.
Right.
And what I was building back here in the East Coast for, all of my life. Doyle, he dropped everything to go up there and be up there. And, look at what it, came up of it.
Sure.
All right. And that's just the whole thing about it is how bad do you want it?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Benny?
know?
In the yeah.
You've been really quiet, man.
How bad do you want it, Benny?
Are you going to go up and guide for you? You going to
I'm
try?
gonna try to as much as I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get him up for. A
I'm
couple
excited.
Weeks. We're gonna see what he's made of, man.
I'm excited.
Ooh.
I wanna
Earning your
throw him
stripes,
in.
my brother.
We're gonna
I
throw
want the
him in.
grind.
A little OTJ training, man.
All right, so,
on the job.
so here's something I'll tell you. All right, not here to really blow up Benny's head because I need him to leave through that door tonight at some point. But
Here we go.
here's what I tell you though: you want a grinder? That kid right there grinds. You know, I asked him, with no notice, to come over here and help put this podcast together. Without a shadow of a doubt, click, we're done. We went and we were up here doing interviews. He's never done an interview in his life that I know of.
You dropped that on him on like the last day of
did.
duck season, didn't you?
I didn't even tell
You
him
were
that.
like-
I didn't even tell him. I said, "Hey, you're gonna come up," and he goes, "Yeah." I didn't tell him he was doing interviews until like 10 minutes before he went and did his first
That's
interview.
under the gun there, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He met my childhood hero, Eddie Salter. Mr. Salter is probably one of the coolest men on the planet.
Dude, he is awesome.
Dude,
He
I have
is.
a hard time talking to that guy because I've been all the videos, man.
Oh, dude,
He was on a TK and Mike video. Like that guy's the best.
I grew up with. He taught me how to hunt. I mean, he's from Evergreen. I'm from Bruton. I mean, he was the first person that truly ever taught me how to
guy's the
call.
best.
He is hands down. I mean, they don't call him the Turkey Man for anything. But
I mean, I went and recorded his seminar. So we're gonna do some
Really?
videos and
Oh, yeah.
reels and stuff on
That's
it.
cool.
oh hell yeah,
And I was having a hard time because I didn't want to pay attention to the camera. I wanted to just sit there like a little kid and just watch him talk.
oh yeah.
You just
It's
gotta pay
so
attention.
good.
You pay attention to the turkey, man.
That's it. But where I'm going with that is, the guy, he told me something that stuck with me, and I'm old, and there's not a lot of things that stick with me. But he said something while we were coming home the other day from the show, and he goes, we were talking. I don't even know how we got on the subject. I do, but we won't get into that. But we were talking about it, and I said, what is it about this that's driving you? He goes, this is my dream. He goes, I'm living my dream. And I was like, that's cool. I mean, that's really cool. I've heard people say, oh, I'm living my dream. But he said something after it that stuck in my head. And I don't think I'll ever forget it. It was impressive. He goes, I don't have a way to buy into this industry. So the only way I'm going to get into it is if I grind. And at that moment, I got to tell you, man, newfound respect for you. I mean, all joking aside, look, I got goosebumps. You
gonna
got
make me
it.
cry.
No, you got it, man.
What? Look at this.
But
Travis is a
dude,
proud dad over there.
dude, you got
I
it.
am tearing up.
So, I mean, that should tell you something right there. I've hired and fired a lot of people in this world, and some good, some I wish I could keep, some I can't. That for an old dude to hear that and walk away with wisdom from a young man, that's pretty impressive, my friend. So take that for what it's worth.
I appreciate it.
To me, that's why I don't look at when people push me a resume.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the guy because that right there,
That gives me a phone number.
yeah, that's it. That's all it does.
Yeah.
But you want to hear stuff like that because that means that person wants it.
Yeah.
When they realize that the only way to truly get somewhere
Yes.
is to just sit down and do it.
Yeah.
And figure out the way to do it.
Grind.
And if that way doesn't work out
Yeah.
for you, do it another way.
For sure.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, welcome to Saskatchewan. Let's see what you're made of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure, man. Again, I go back,
2023 in the fall is going to be here before we know it.
yeah. I'm excited, man.
Me too. I'm
I'm
fired up.
super, super
Six months
excited.
away.
Fired up.
So where we at
less
with
than
time,
6
my
months.
friend?
57.
All right. I figure we're getting close, but not that I try to keep this to an hour. It's good conversation and it'll go quick, man. And for at least I have, I'm sitting here and it'll blink and I'm like, oh Lord. We got so with that being said, do y'all still have spots open on the books? Can people still go for 2023 season?
We can definitely get you guys in. It's one of those deals where don't waste time. Get
Yeah.
at us ASAP. This expo circuit, that's what it's there for. We're
Yeah.
going to be down in Dixie Deer Classic here next month.
Yeah.
All right. And then we're also going to be, right before we leave, I'm going to be at the Virginia Outdoor Sportsman Show.
Yep.
And we're going to be there. And that'll be the time when it's like any last minute, try
Right.
and squeeze anybody in. We have been booking people for 2024.
Yep.
There's people who are already almost at the point of booking 2025.
Right.
You know, that's the loyal regulars that we have that keep on coming back.
So I've
up.
got one for every year until I die.
There
right?
we go.
2026. You saw what I was doing there. 2027.
I'm good with that.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Oh,
that.
Mikey 2 trips over
Right?
here. How we doing? One in
Mikey
September,
2
one in
trips.
October. How we doing? Here we go.
Yeah, you talk to the wife about that one.
We'll have to build a parking sign with Mikey's name on it.
That's
Put
what
it
he
out
was
Oh,
telling
behind
me.
the
Mikey 2 spots.
for the RV. Yeah,
Mikey 2 spots.
yeah. We'll get Christian to go up there and wire him in a plug out there. He can plug that RV in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be a whole lot of wire nuts and electrical tape. But
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
It'll only spark a little when you plug it in.
I'm all right with that. A little janky.
Yeah, no doubt.
Janky. No, but so how do folks get a hold of you if they want to book? Where's your social media? What are y'all doing?
It's at Wild Valley Outfitters on everything.
Okay.
You can also talk to Travis on Facebook, me. My cell number is 540-908-1185. You can call or text me. You just want to talk hunting, man, I'll talk.
Y'all got a website?
We do, wildvalleyoutfitters.com.
Okay, it is a .com, so good deal. All right, so given all of that, Benny, I'm gonna throw it to you. You got to leave us with some more words of wisdom. Now,
The Duke of Greg's.
the Duke of Greg, Benny and the Gregs. Oh, there you go. Coming in the fall.
I don't know about words of wisdom, but I just this opportunity that you're giving me, that Travis has given me, and now that Doyle has given me this year. I'm just so fired up for it.
Good,
I'm so
man.
ready.
This has been Words of Wisdom with Benny and the Gregs. Duke of Greg's. Gregs. Oh.
That's what we need. That's going on the soundboard.
That's the outro there.
Oh Lord. All right, but all right, so it's been a freaking awesome time spending with y'all. I'd love to get you back on here, and I'd really want to see if we can get some podcasts from the lodge, and
Yeah,
I'm
no
excited
doubt.
about
Oh,
that.
we need some James Hancock and some Brad Long on this piece. Oh, yeah, man, absolutely. Oh, Mikey 2 episodes with Wild Valley Outfitters. Here we go.
And James, I'm glad you're feeling better. Sorry we had technical difficulties today.
We need to do one. James is the turkey man that I know.
Oh, God.
Him and my brother Tyler, they're the turkey man. And we need to get one during turkey season with James.
No.
'cause he'll have stories.
We will sit down for turkey season and
No
talk.
doubt, no doubt. Because I tell you what, I love duck hunting.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be. But real quick, I love turkey hunting too. I'm ready to go kill some turkey.
I'm ready. I'm ready. We can go. We can go for sure. So the other thing I did want to say, kind of threw this in at the end, but for those of you who are looking for taxidermy, it's at the end of the season. You've got all your freezer full. Your wife's probably yelling at you, getting these damn dead birds out of my freezer. Wyatt Probst Taxidermy down in Summer Duck, Virginia, by far is probably is the best duck guy, bird guy I have ever met in my life. So give him a shot. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him on, he's got a website. You can find him on Google, a whole 9 yards. Wyatt, by far, give him a shot. He loves doing birds. Probably would prefer to do birds over anything else. But if there's anything, if y'all are looking at a space to go, please make sure to check him out. And other than that, any final words? Y'all good?
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
No, thank y'all, man.
fun.
It's been a good time.
We're out here, and you can be too. Here we go.
Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to The Hunting Quest. No matter how crazy, high-tech, or lazy the rest of the country gets, we will always be hunting and fishing. If that's you, you've found your new family. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. Reach out to us by email at info@thehuntingquest.com. And check us out on Instagram and YouTube at The Hunting Quest. See you next time.